Dean Russell.
Thank you. I'll just have one question, really, if I may, to Professor Symes. The question I've got is regarding the safeguarding. We heard this morning from Kim with her very incredibly powerful testimony, and it sounds to me that there's an absolute close connection between the cosmetic procedures and mental health. And I just wondered whether more needs to be done, that when somebody has a cosmetic procedure, that they have to get pre, during and post mental health support to make sure that they go through that safely.
Thank you very much for that comment. I'm sure Ash and I would be totally agreed on this. We had a conversation before we came in. Absolutely. So we've heard about a code of practice which relates to both ethical, moral and, of course, professional principles. So we're absolutely clear that no treatment should be provided without a pre-consultation. Now, with education and training being set as a new standard, which of course is the spirit of the licence, within that, the curriculum would require any person who actually demonstrates their proficiency to achieve that education and training standard should and will be trained in psychological and emotional screening pre-consultation. So that's the first thing, and we're pretty clear what that needs to look like. I work very closely with the Mental Health Foundation, with Lucy and colleagues, and we would agree totally that those toolkits are there. That's the first thing. But then, how can we be sure that they're going to be put in place? Because commercially, there's been a lot of evidence to show that assessment of mental health, but let's just talk about emotional, psychological health and well-being, is not being undertaken. Up to 78% of people, we found, have not had such an assessment. So there needs to be a link back to previous history, but also about anticipation of outcome and motivation for treatment. Because there's every reason to believe, in some cases, a lot of cases that is, that there will be a sublimation, a treatment of a perceived imperfection. I'm using that term very carefully here, of course. Can, of course, lead then to immediate satisfaction, but then can lead to a realisation that things aren't quite as good as we thought initially, and that can lead to a transfer to yet another issue. And so that becomes quite challenging. So the importance of not just the pre-assessment, but the follow-up and providing the safety nets, your question earlier about safety nets to Lucy, is really important here. So we would believe that there should be no assessment without psychological assessment and emotional assessment, and that safety nets must be built in within the context of the treatment, pre-treatment, the treatment and the post-treatment plan for aftercare.
Thank you very much. Thank you.